students, how are you? I hope you're all doing good. So let's start this video. Actually this video is related to the last class that we have taken taken the live classes via Google Meet. Though that class didn't work well as expected, but still I was quite happy and was very happy to see you all, and it was quite great pleasure for me. So let's start. This video is for those students who couldn't attend, as most of the students didn't attend the class, and as well as those who attended, some of them couldn't hear because of the network issue. We can't do it. It is quite helpless for us. So let's start with this. Now in that class we have discussed about the separation of the heterogeneous mixture, that how we will separate the heterogeneous mixture. Till now we have discussed about the homogeneous and the separation. Now we will discuss about the heterogeneous mixture. We know what is heterogeneous mixture. We all know. And what is it? The heterogeneous mixture is a non-uniform where the substances are not uniformly distributed. And in other words, we can say that in heterogeneous mixture, the substances are insoluble. Substances are insoluble. An example is sand plus water. The example of heterogeneous mixture is sand plus water. Now tell me, is sand soluble? No, it is insoluble. Since it is insoluble, so in most, I can say that all in heterogeneous mixture, the substances, one of the substances are insoluble in nature. One of the substances in the mixture will be insoluble in nature. So, since one of the substances are insoluble in nature, the separation methods are different from the homogeneous mixture. Separation methods are different from homogeneous mixture. In homogeneous mixture, we all know what kind of separation we have used: evaporation, condensation, distillation. But here for heterogeneous mixture, we will use a different method to separate, or I must say easiest method. Not like homogeneous, we have to heat and cool, and it will take a long time. But for heterogeneous mixture, it is quite easy. I must say that separation of heterogeneous mixture is much easier than homogeneous mixture. Separation of heterogeneous mixture is much easier than homogeneous mixture. Let's see what are the separation. Now what are the methods of the heterogeneous mixture? I have given the names of the separation methods of the heterogeneous mixture in the last class. That is, one is filtration, one is sedimentation and decantation. And what about the third one? One was the centrifugation. Centrifugation is not in your syllabus, it's just for your knowledge, you can take it. And the fourth one is churning. So let's discuss about this. Let's discuss about this separation one by one. Now let's discuss about the first separation, that is filtration. What is filtration? Filtration is a process of separating insoluble solid substances. Since heterogeneous is what? The substances are insoluble. So separating the insoluble solid substances from a liquid by passing through this medium. Certain medium. There is one medium, and through that medium I will pass this liquid. So what are this medium? This medium will have a tiny pores in it. And through this tiny pores the liquid will pass. And the liquid will pass through this tiny pores. Then what are these medium? Mediums are filter paper, muslin cloth and cotton cloth. These are the medium that will have a very tiny pores, tiny, very small, that cannot be, sometimes we cannot see. Filter paper, you cannot see the pores, but there is a pores. And through these pores the liquid will pass, but this insoluble solid substances will not pass. And in this way we will separate. So let's see how it is separating. Now let's see. First take a mixture, heterogeneous mixture, and the example is sand plus water. This is a sand plus water mixture. Here you can see that in water this dot there is a ball which we can see. These balls are what? Sand particles that are suspended in water, and this is water. So this is a sand plus water heterogeneous mixture. Now I want to separate sand and water. Now what I will do? I will take a filter paper. See, this is a filter paper, and the dot which you are seeing, these are the tiny pores. Though you cannot see if I don't have that filter paper, you will see it looks like a simple paper only. Filter paper looks like other papers only but the difference is it has a very tiny pores, and we cannot what we do, we fold it and place it over the funnel. How? Suppose this is a funnel. This is a funnel, as you can see, and over it this is a filter paper that I have folded. This is a folded filter paper. Okay, this is a folded filter paper, and this is a funnel. Now what I will do, that I will place this funnel over an empty container, and then from above I will pour this mixture. And what you will see? Let's see. See that I have drawn a figure. Okay. See, this is an empty container where I will collect. This is an empty container where I will collect the liquid. Container for collecting liquid, and this is clear liquid, and this is a funnel, and over the funnel I have placed a filter paper. Now I will take this mixture. See, this is a sand plus mixture, and I am pouring the mixture over the filter paper, on the filter paper. After pouring, when it will be filled, after pouring, you will see that a small drop of water or small drop of liquid is falling over the empty surface, and you will see that these liquids are very clear and transparent. You will see after some time, you will find that you are getting a clear and transparent liquid. Clear and transparent liquid in this empty container. And over this filter paper, you will see that the sand particles that was present in the mixture, that the sand components have been collected over here. Here the sand particles, here the sand will be collected, and here you will see that liquid like clear and transparent liquid is collected over here. So through this you can see that through filter paper, through this a liquid is passing. A liquid is passing through this filter paper. Now, do you know what this liquid called, and what is the sand that is left out? The sand that has been left out, that sand has been left out and that is present on the filter paper are called residue. And the liquid that is coming through passing through the filter paper and collecting over the empty container, this liquid is actually called a filtrate. So in filtration, we get two components. One is filtrate and one is residue. And what is filtrate and what is residue? The filtrate are those that will be collected. The filtrate are those that will pass through the medium, pass through the filter paper and will be collected in another container. And what is residue? The residue are those that cannot pass through the filter paper and will be present on the filter paper, or we can say that it is left on the filter paper. So let's write it. So in filtration we get two components, and what are the two components? One is residue, one is filtrate. What is filtrate? The filtrate is those can pass through filter paper easily and collected on another container. And what is residue? The residue are those that cannot pass through the filter paper. You cannot pass through filter paper and remains on the filter paper. So these are residue and this is filtrate. Now let's come to the second separation. Now comes the second separation, that is sedimentation and decantation. What sedimentation? First we have to understand sedimentation. Then we will go to the decantation. Sedimentation is in insoluble solid mixture, because since the heterogeneous mixture is contains the insoluble substances, so insoluble solid mixture, when the heavier component in a mixture settle down, when a heavier component settle down by leaving it undisturbed, this process is called what? Is called sedimentation. What happens? Suppose take this mixture, sand plus water mixture, where you can see these are all sand substances and this and others surrounded by water. Now I will keep it for a long time, keeping it for a long time. After keeping it for a long time, you will see that these sand particles that were suspended, that were floating, that were suspended in the medium have been settled down at the bottom of the container. This sand has settled down at bottom of the container, right? Bottom of container. And this process is actually where you can see that sand has been settled down at the bottom of the container or bottom of the mixture. This process is called sedimentation. And above these are all what? Water. You can see a clear water, you can see above this layer. Above this layer you can see a clear layer. So sedimentation is a process where the heavier components, since sand is a heavy, sand settled down because of what? The sand settled down due to the heaviness, or we can say heavier than water. Due to the heaviness, this sand settled down. As a result, above this layer, above the sand layer, you will see the clear water. Now tell me how you will remove this water. Now we have to separate. Now the sand has settled down, but we have to get the clear water. Then what we will do? We will do the decantation. We will use decantation. So in sedimentation, we do not only alone can sedimentation can separate that. We need both sedimentation and decantation. And what is decantation? Let's see. So once the sand is settled down, you know what is, when the sand is settled down, what is called? It is called sediment. Sediment is nothing. The substances that settle down after keeping it for a long time, that is called sediment. Now I have to separate this clear water from the sand. What I will do? I will take an empty container. In an empty container, I will pour this. I will take this mixture, I will take this container very slowly, not very, বেশি তাড়াহুড়ো করলে হবে না, বেশি তাড়াহুড়ো করলে তাহলে এটা ঘেটে যাবে, it will again mixed. So I will take it very slowly, and I will slowly I will pour the water in this. And here it will see, this is the collection of the sand, this is a sand, and this is a clear water. Okay, this is a clear water. Now I will pour this liquid over here, and what you will see, in the empty container you will get a clear liquid, and in this container you will get the sand. And in this way you will separate the sand and water by the process of sedimentation and decantation. Separating this liquid from this mixture and pouring this liquid into another container, this is called a decantation. So what is decantation? Once the sand is settled down, and pour the liquid slowly in another container without disturbing it. We have to take very carefully, we have to pour it, and we have to pour so that it doesn't get mixed up again. We will slowly I will pour the liquid in it. And in this way, I will separate this sand and water. And this process is called decantation. So in one container you will get clear liquid, and in another you will get the sand. So in this way you can separate the sand and water by using sedimentation and decantation.
Sedimentation and decantation. Sedimentation is the process of separation of insoluble solids from liquids when the solids are heavier than the liquid. If we allow such a mixture to stand for some time, the solids tend to settle down. The liquid forms a clear layer at the top. If we remove the top layer without disturbing the settled solids, we can separate the liquid from solids. The process of settling of heavy solids at the bottom is called sedimentation, decantation. The removal of clear layer of liquid without disturbing the settled solids is called decantation.
We have learned that separation of a mixture can be done by decantation. But can we separate all the mixtures by the process of decantation? Let us perform an activity to understand this. Take freshly prepared tea. Decant tea from tea leaves. Look at the decanted tea. What do you see? You will see that a few leaves are still in your tea. Thus, we can conclude that we cannot separate all the mixtures by the process of decantation. Then how do we separate all the tea leaves from the tea? Now take a strainer and pour the tea through it. Observe both tea and the strainer. What do you see in the strainer? You will see that all the tea leaves remain in the strainer. This process of separation of a mixture with the help of a strainer or a filter is called filtration. We will now perform an activity to learn about the process of filtration. Take soil and water mixture in a glass beaker. Now take a small piece of cotton cloth. Take another glass beaker and put the cloth on top of it. Now pour the mixture through the cloth. What do you observe? You will observe that soil particles remained in the cloth while the water passes through the cloth and gets collected in the second beaker. Do you know why? This is because cotton cloth acts as a filter. Let us learn how a cotton cloth acts as a filter. In a piece of cloth, small holes or pores are there in between the woven threads. It is actually these small pores that act as a filter. The soil particles are bigger in size than these pores. So they cannot pass through these pores and remain in the cloth. While water molecules, being smaller than the pore size of the cloth, can easily pass through the cloth. Thus, by using a filter, we can separate out components of a mixture. We have learnt that clothes act as a filter. Apart from clothes, a filter paper is another type of filter that has very fine pores in it. Let us learn how to filter substances by using a filter paper. A filter paper is folded in the form of a cone. This folded filter paper is fixed onto a funnel. The mixture to be separated is then poured on the filter paper. Solid particles in the mixture do not pass through it and remain on the filter, while the liquid can easily pass through it and gets separated from the solid particles. In this way, we can filter liquid from a mixture by using a filter paper.
Now comes to the churning. What is churning? The separating of a solid insoluble substances that are floating on a liquid by hand or a spoon. You have seen, আমরা দেখেছি যখন দুধ গরম করা হয়, দুধকে যদি ঠান্ডা করি তা আমরা কি দেখতে পাই? শর্ট একটা স্বর ওপরে ভাসছে, we don't like that shore. We used to tell, you don't feel like having it. So what we tell, used to tell to our mom যে শরটাকে সরিয়ে দাও. So she used to remove that shore, and she used to remove the shore by what? By using what? Either spoon or by either hand, right? So this separation is called what? This separation is called churning. Churning is a removing of the insoluble solid substances. Shore is insoluble, that is why it is floating. So insoluble, but that is floating, that has to be float. So in churning, the insoluble substances float, because the substances that are not soluble, that it can float, it can either float or it can sink, right? We have discussed in the last chapter, it can either float or it can sink. So those who can sink, we have discussed how we will separate, by using filtration or by sedimentation or decantation. But the substance which float, how we will separate this? By using the churning process. By using the churning process, we can separate the insoluble substances that floats on a liquid by using what? By using hand or spoon. Okay, example, cream from milk, short, and we use this cream for making butter and ghee, and we use this milk for making paneer, curd, right? So see here, two useful components are separated. Two useful insoluble components are separated and used for the various purposes. Paneer, for this paneer and curd, and for cream, butter and ghee. So till now we have discussed it in the last class. Till now we have discussed this much only. In the next class we will discuss more about the separation. Okay, till then, have a nice day.